For some days now, since that judgment, that court judgment passed in Abuja by Justice James Omotosho, since that time, there have been repeated fault. People have found fault in that judgment passed by Justice James Omotosho. And one of the ways people are now looking at is, if Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released by Tinubu or unconditionally, can he release him conditionally? Given that right now, Nnamdi Kanu needs to be released because of his health, because of the state of his health, he needs, as a matter of urgency, to leave the DSS facility, go to a hospital, and regain his freedom. So there's been this call for what has been termed conditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the news. The news just broke like a few minutes ago, and of course, here in Noble Media, we always get you the news as it is breaking. Chinedu Mije urges President Tinubu to grant Nnamdi Kanu conditional release. Many people do not know what conditional release is all about. In this very video and in this news that we just got, we'll be looking at it in depth. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been urged to grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a conditional release from prison as a purposeful step towards reconciliation and national healing. As a step towards reconciliation between, several lovers of Biafra, several people of Southeast region, Biafran people, do not feel that they belong to the Nigerian project. So, if Nnamdi Kanu is released, he could now lead to reconciliation of the Nigerian state and healing, because many people have been wounded. Professor Christopher Chinedu Mije, a professor of disaster management and humanitarian studies, made the call in an open letter to President Tinubu. So, both since 26th of September, after that judgment, even before then, right? People in Nigeria, people outside Nigeria, lawyers, professors, organizations, civil rights groups, NGOs, have been urging the president to be bold enough. I don't know if the president is afraid of the North or what. Please come under the comment of this video and type, Tinubu, be bold enough. Don't be a coward. Be bold enough and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before it is too late. Come under the comment of this video and type, Tinubu, be bold enough to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before it is too late for Nigeria. According to this professor, as a concerned citizen, a patriot and a believer in the indivisibility of our great nation, Nigeria, I am compelled to address you on a matter that has continued to agitate the minds of millions of Nigerians, particularly in the southeastern region, and even people of the southeastern region that are not in Nigeria, because a lot of us are no longer in Nigeria. The continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of one of the Southeast geopolitical zone activist group, Indigenous People of Biafra. The professor stated that the Nigerian Constitution upholds justice, equity, and fairness as the pillars upon which the country's democracy stands. The pillars upon which, and these are the things they are ignoring in Nnamdi Kanu's case, which we must remind them. Please always come under the comment again and type, Tinubu, be bold enough to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was Buhari that put Nnamdi Kanu in prison. Why can't you, as a Southerner, be bold enough and release this man? The Nigerian Constitution upholds justice, equity, and fairness as the pillars upon which the country's democracy stands. Chinedu Mije stated that Nigeria has endured years of conflicts, agitations, and secessionist tensions, stating that the Southeast has been one of the most volatile regions in recent years, with sit-at-home orders, violent clashes, and economic disruptions affecting millions. Don't forget to come under the comment of this video. Tell us how the sit-at-home situation is still happening in Nigeria. If you are in Nigeria, if you are still in Nigeria, maybe you are in Imo, Anambra, Abia, Ebonyi, and in any of the 5 Enugu. Tell us the situation of the South. We hear that there's no more sit at home in Enugu. Let us know. He stated that while the government has every right to enforce law and order, we must recognize that sustained peace is rarely achieved through force alone, but through dialogue, inclusion, and trust building. Because most of the time, in fact, using of force is what the Nigerian state has always embraced, especially when it has to do with the southeastern part. That was why we saw the Operation Python dance that led to the death of Nnamdi Kanu's parents, and many Biafran sons and daughters are still missing in prison till then. To him, to this Professor Chinedumije, granting Nnamdi Kanu a conditional release under clear and unenforceable terms would send a powerful signal that President Tinubu's administration is committed to national healing. That was what they did for Sunday Igboho. They have done it for a lot of people. So what of calling Nnamdi Kanu to a negotiating table and give certain terms and conditions? Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB will also give certain terms and conditions. If an agreement is reached, then he should be released, especially now that Nnamdi Kanu is sick. Okay, we must move on. Remember, come under the comment of this video and type, Tinubu, be bold enough to release Nnamdi Kanu. It would demonstrate statesmanship, reassure the Southeast that their grievances are being heard, and create the space for a structured conversation about Nigeria's unity, equity, and development. So if this is done, come to a negotiating table, stop playing the hard man. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu is sick, the nation is not moving forward. Since he was captured, Nigeria has been moving on its heels. Why not, for the sake of unity, equity, and development, call out and release this man, Nnamdi Kanu? Nigeria is at a turning point. Insecurity remains a challenge, and social cohesion is fragile. The conditional release of Nnamdi Kanu could help de-escalate tensions, reduce violence, and allow security agencies to focus on other pressing threats across the nation. Of course, we already know that in the northern side, the Nigerian government is romancing and having meetings like brothers and sisters with bandits. You know, calling them for meetings. Bandits will come, they will take photographs, take selfie, and the bandits will still return without anything happening to them. This professor, however, stated that this call is not to excuse any alleged wrongdoing, but to allow for a political and reconciliatory solution that prioritizes peace over perpetual confrontation. Because all this while that Tinubu and Buhari's government had heard Nnamdi Kanu, what have they benefited? Has the insecurity stopped? Has the Fulani herdsmen killing stopped? Has the Boko Haram killing stopped? Has the kidnapping stopped? Since they heard Nnamdi Kanu, what benefit have they gotten? Has the Fulani people not all Fulani person is bad, but the few herdsmen that have been empowered with guns and AK-47 that are terrorizing farmers in Benue, in Ehamufu, in Enugu, in several parts of Igbo land and in several parts of the Benue middle belt, has kidnapping and keeping Nnamdi Kanu in prison solved that problem? Has the Nnamdi Kanu situation, keeping him there, has it brought down dollar from 1,005, 1,004, 1,006 to has it brought it down to what it was before APC took over? To ensure national interest is protected, his release could be tied to a commitment to renounce violence and publicly call off all sit-at-home orders and violent agitation. Remember, I said if you are in Nigeria and on the southeast, let us know the state of sit-at-home in Nigeria right now, especially in your area. A pledge to engage constructively with the federal government in dialogue and peace-building effort, and close monitoring and reporting arrangement to ensure compliance with the terms of release. Professor Chinedumije also called on the 6 state governors of the Southeast, 5 state governors of the Southeast, to intentionally join in the diplomatic advocacy with President Tinubu and the National Assembly. Let the governors be intentional. Remember, we had said in an earlier video, come under the comment of the video and mention the name of your governor, whether you are in Nigeria or not. Tell the governor to stop playing to the gallery, stop doing this the more you look, the less you see approach they are using in Nnamdi Kanu. Come out, let us know that you stand together. Elect Sotio of Abia State, Hope Uzodinma of Imo State. There's this, I think in Enugu we have Pitamba. Then in Anambra I think we have Soludo, Charles Soludo. Then in Ebonyi Wifru. They should come together. Stop deceiving people that you are fighting for Nnamdi Kanu. Come out. The 5 Southeast governors to intentionally join the diplomatic advocacy with President Tinubu and the National Assembly so that this conditional release can be fast-tracked and to collectively work with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community influencers to restore peace and stability in the region. This professor added that great leaders like Tinubu are remembered not only for the infrastructure they built, but also for the peace they brokered and the unity they fostered. The decision to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu conditionally would stand as a hallmark of Tinubu's administration's commitment to true reconciliation and nation building. In the spirit of justice, equity, and renewed hope agenda, I appeal to your good conscience and sense of history to act decisively and magnanimously. Nigeria needs healing, and this singular act could be a catalyst for national cohesion. This is the way it is. Tinubu has been urged, given a leeway to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This one may not be unconditional release, but certain conditions can be attached by Tinubu's administration and by IPOB. An agreement could be reached that will ensure that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't die in detention. Now that there is still time, now that Tinubu has the opportunity, call on him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Like this video, share this video. Very important. Many people need to get this video. Like this video. Click on subscribe if you have not. Click on join to become a full member of our channel. And most importantly, there's another important video on the screen. Click on it now.